Nice to see you back, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're into the exciting stuff, the stuff that you can take home today. We met Ben last year and saw the queues of people standing around. It wasn't his magnetic personality or his ability to play guitar. It was the fact that the Nissan Intelligent Mobility philosophy is the framework for everything that Nissan does in both its current product and technologies, as well as driving future innovations to meeting the changing needs of both our customers and that of the wider society. Join Nissan's National Manager in 2 seconds for electrification and mobility. Ben Warren is taking a look at how this approach translates into the products and technologies Nissan are bringing to the market today and where this is going for tomorrow and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, the National Manager for Electrification and Mobility from Nissan Australia, please welcome Ben Warren.
Thanks very much, John. It's very good to be here today. I think before we jump into it, I guess it's important to kind of recognise that the world's changing pretty quickly. So 2020 has been a weird one, and testament to that being the fact we're all sitting here staring at our computer screens instead of meeting in person. So I think one of the things that comes with all of that change is all of that rapid change and evolution is, you know, things are moving socially, politically, technologically, and Nissan Intelligent Mobility is our kind of framework or our grounding piece to help us work through all of these different challenges that affect not only the automotive industry but also related industries and society in general, and try and design and build products and features and bring things to market to help kind of address those changes. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today in terms of looking at EV vision and things that are coming into the future. I guess the intelligent mobility framework, really there's 3 pieces to it. The first one's intelligent drive, and that's about our customers feeling more confident about increasing the levels of safety and control and comfort of their vehicles. Intelligent power is about being more excited, having a vehicle that's fun to drive, and that's one of the hallmarks of an EV, right? The responsiveness, the instant torque, but having a drive that's exciting but clean and efficient. And then the last one is intelligent integration, and that's about being more connected and the way that our cars can integrate more seamlessly, I guess, into the wider world around it. And I guess that's how we think about the different elements of our products and how we develop them moving forward. And I guess today we have the Nissan Leaf in market, which touches on all 3 pillars. So where are we today? We've got the 2nd generation Leaf in market. We launched it last year in August with the 40 kilowatt hour pack. And this comes off the back of obviously the 1st gen, which has been around for quite a while. So a good step up in product, and being onto the 2nd gen, quite a lot of things have been improved, and just even little things that have been improved along the way, and that's the benefit, I guess, of having a 2nd generation of product. And also, it's a different market that we find ourselves in today. So just over 12 months, it took us to outsell the entire sales of Gen 1 over about 4 years. So thankfully, it's a different market and landscape in 2019 and 2020 than it was in 2012. As one of my colleagues constantly reminds me, if you want a lesson in repeated rejection, try and sell an electric car in 2012. So thankfully, we've come a long way. The other thing that's really interesting about the 2nd generation is the opportunities that it unlocks. And I'm not going to go too far into this because, when we speak about vehicle to grid, the idea is relatively simple about using our vehicles as mobile storage. We like to think of them as when they're parked, they can effectively become the world's sexiest battery. And there's been talks across today. Laura from ANU and Jane from AGL, as well as Tim from JetCharge, have done different pieces. So I'm not going to dig into the reads too much about this, outside of saying that it's something that we as a brand are very strong supporters of and very passionate about. And that's because we want to make sure that the energy requirements and the charging requirements for future EV drivers are catered for, that we're using our assets more effectively, and creating value for our customers, but also making sure that we don't adversely impact all other energy users in the process of this generational transition, I guess, between not only the automotive sector, but also the energy sector as well. One of the things that's off the back of this is that we're proud to have a couple of programs in market for Australia or coming to market. So there's been the announcement of 2 trials so far, which Laura spoke about earlier today, and Jane respectively, for their programs. But really, this work is about creating the market and starting to solve those things. Because as I mentioned, V2G is conceptually pretty simple, but really to bring it to market, it's quite difficult. So these trials are really important to help solve the technical, economical and social kind of elements to develop not only rules and regulations around how to connect these things, but also the business models and all those different things required to leverage this technology most effectively, and most importantly, make it really easy for our customers. Where do we go to next? I guess next for Leaf, there's been a little bit of talk around the 62 kilowatt E+, so that is coming to Australia from us. So we're excited by that, to have that addition to our range next year, and obviously bigger battery means more range, more power, both in a driving and a charging sense as well. But that's kind of the short term. What I wanted to have a look at is some of the interesting future innovations and sort of what's coming down the pike on a global scale, and really looking at those 3 pillars that I mentioned before. So starting with intelligent drive, I guess, really this is a lot of the developments in this area are coming in the automation point and autonomous driving. We're seeing ProPilot Park being single lane, ProPilot being a single lane sort of highway driving autonomous technology. We're seeing globally recently ProPilot 2.0 introducing multi-lane driving as well, which has been really interesting. And then the same sort of evolution with ProPilot Park and ProPilot Remote Park. So going from having to physically be in the car to being able to move the car in and out of the car park using the key fob. And that was something that was revealed as part of the recent Ariya global SUV reveal. So these are the types of things that we're seeing being released on a global scale, which is really exciting for us. In the power front, intelligent power, EForce. EForce is something that people might have seen. It's our dual electric motor all-wheel drive system. Here you can see a test mule Leaf that's been highly modified and had 2 electric motors fitted into it. And this was taking basically our extensive all-wheel drive knowledge from our conventional powertrains that's been developed over many years, and also our strong experience in EV powertrains to create that real balance, perfect balance of performance and responsiveness. And that development basically became the powertrain or foundation for that Ariya all-wheel drive platform that was again globally revealed back in July, I think it was. Stepping away from 100% electric for a second, the EPower powertrain is something that we're pretty excited about as being a key in the transformation towards EV and the transition to EV. The e-powertrain's different to, I guess, a conventional hybrid system in that we have the electric motor to the wheels, and the battery pack is powered by a petrol engine, but the petrol engine is not connected to the wheels at all. So we see this as being a key transitional element because the vehicle in itself drives like an EV. You get the responsiveness and the smoothness that comes with an electric vehicle without, I guess, the potential range anxiety or need to plug it in. So we see this as being, once you've had that electric experience, it then makes the further transition later in your motoring journey to full EV a little bit easier. So this is something we'd see come through in products we know and love today as an alternative powertrain to a conventional petrol or diesel, for example. And then finally, intelligent integration. So I spoke about V2G and the fact that you can move energy around. At our Nissan Pavilion in Yokohama, we launched the initiative where customers can actually pay for their parking using their vehicles and the battery from their vehicles. So the Nissan Pavilions was opened recently this year. It's a 10,000 square metre zero emission pavilion, which the whole purpose of it is to showcase a lot of our emerging technologies and innovations. And again, that notion of, I guess, Nissan Energy, and really showcasing that where people can pay for their parking. So this is just one of the kind of many ideas that we've got in that energy model around trying to increase the role that our cars can play in the wider ecosystem, maximize both asset utilization, but also value to customers, and then support the decarbonisation of not only transport, but also energy as well. So rapid fire, but I think that's probably as good a place to leave it for now, and look forward to chatting further in the Q&A session.
Fantastic, Ben, as always, insightful and a true position of leadership. It must be very satisfying to hold the role you do, no matter what your colleagues say to you. Just tell them, ice, ice, baby. Their days are numbered.